Hello and welcome if you're new to my channel, and if you're a subscriber, a warm welcome back. This video is part of my viewer comment response series where I respond to comments made by a viewer against one of my videos. And the particular comment for this video goes as follows. I'm eyeing a luxury purchase between Valextra Iside and Moreau Mune. Both are excellent bags, but I want to hear your advice. Thank you, Anesu. When I received this comment, I literally was going to just respond back in the comment and I'm done with the comment. But I thought, let me just pop into the Valextra stores. I was scheduled to go into Central London a couple of days after I received the comment. Take a look at what new colors, possibly limited edition bags they had in stock, and then respond to the comment accordingly. And when I went in, I was pleasantly surprised because I love Valextra. It's a phenomenal brand. When it comes to the quality, the craftsmanship, it's fantastic. But the service, it's been a bit tricky over the years, and it kind of puts me off going into the store. They have one store in London located on Mount Street in Mayfair, and I literally have to steel myself before going in. But when I went in, I met a new assistant, absolutely fantastic young lady. She knows her product. She understands luxury and the quality of service that's needed at that level. And it re-energized my whole Valextra vibe. I've been putting off talking about Valextra as a brand. I've been asked by many people. And I felt motivated again. And I thought, you know what, let me create a quick video, compare Valextra and Moreau. And then also, I'll talk about Valextra soon. Hopefully, I'll be able to shoot within the store, maybe do a live. Who knows? If you don't ask, you don't get, right? I'm Anesu Sagonda, and I produce educational luxury content for anyone after the finer things, whether you're young and starting out in life and wanting to reap the benefits of buying quality from the get-go, or you're new to money and wanting to learn how to navigate the terrain, or you're into luxury but you want to focus more on quality, under the radar brands, then my content is geared towards you. The Mune and the Iside bags are both top handle bags that come with an additional strap. So you can wear both bags either over the shoulder or as crossbody bags. Both have flap overs and both are trapezoid in shape. The Mune is a slimmer trapezoid, whereas the Iside is a wider trapezoid. And the distinct advantage of that is when you look at the Iside from the front, you don't think much of the carrying capacity, but once you look inside, because of the wider base, it gives the bag more carrying capacity. But it's not the type of bag I would recommend stuffing it with a lot of things. It's not that sort of bag, but I'll talk about that in a little more detail in a second. Both have muted gold hardware, which I really like, because when it's muted, you don't draw attention to the hardware when you look at the bag. You look at the bag in its entirety because everything just flows, everything comes together. Wow. With the Mune, it also has a shiny edge coating. I forgot to talk about Moreau edge coating in my tote video where I was talking about Moureanette and Moreau, which I'm going to attach above. And I was kicking myself afterwards because Moreau's edge coating puts it at a distinct advantage to the other brands. They use beeswax for their edge coating. And what you'll also find is that a few of your custom brands, think for example, Durette Paris, will also use beeswax. So the top custom brands use beeswax, and that's because it's incredibly strong. They apply a little bit of beeswax at a time and work their way around the edges, and then they reapply it again, and you get a very thin, strong layer on top of the edges. It seals the edges wonderfully and just protects them. They're not going to get damaged at all. The edge coating is not going to move, it's not going to peel, it's not going to crack. It reinforces the edges. So that puts Moreau at a distinct advantage. It's also shiny, very similar to Iside's edge coating as well, the black lacquered edge coating. Coming back to the Mune, comes in two sizes. You have a mini size, which I'm not recommending to Wanja. I would recommend the next size up, which is a small. As a bag, when I look at the Mune, I've spoken about the Mune before. I'm going to attach that video above. The Mune to me is an everyday, you want something easy to carry out and about, throw in your bits. It's got enough carrying capacity for your phone, your wallet, keys, makeup. It's an elevated running around bag, good quality. When you look at it, it looks quality, and it looks the part as an everyday bag. It's an elevated everyday bag that people will notice and think, oh wow, that is a nice bag. What is it? What also gives it more of an everyday, more functional, slightly more relaxed look and feel to it is the clasp on the front. It's a trunk clasp. Moreau is a French brand founded in 1882, and the brand was started and focused on producing trunks and luggage. So you can see with a lot of the pieces that Moreau currently produce, they source a lot of their inspiration from their archives. You see a lot of their heritage features coming through in modern day bags. So the clasp on the front is from their trunks. It makes it a little more casual. It gives it a slightly more low-key look. It's not as elegant. It's more an everyday look to me. Those are my thoughts with regards to the Mune. Comes in two sizes: the mini size, which I'm not recommending to Wanja, and of course the small size, which can fit all your bits, as I mentioned. In terms of prices, the small size, you're looking at prices for the plain colors of 1,850 euros. Plain colors, they typically produce a rich tan color and then a black color. And they also produce the same bag in the signature Moureanette, a brown color and also a white color, which is their interwoven wicker stems. That's the design you see on a lot of their bags. They'll do a variation of that as well as a plain color. So Moreau's very much your plain colors. As a brand, as a whole, you will notice all of their styles are typically your classic, your core colors, your blacks, your tans, your greens, your blues, for example. Whereas Iside is very different. The focus for Valextra as a brand as a whole is color. It's all about color as a brand. But again, I'll talk about a bit more about that in a second. But looking at the Iside, as I mentioned, it's a wider trapezoid shape. So you get more carrying capacity. Comes in 4 sizes. You have the mini, which Valextra have told me they're discontinuing. And then you have the small size. And then you have the medium and the large, which is what I would recommend to Wanja, the medium or the large, depending on what you need the bag for. I don't know what you need the bag for, the level of carrying capacity. But the Iside is not a functional everyday running around bag like the Mune. It's very different. And it's not the type of bag I would ever recommend stuffing it with anything. To me, it's very much an elevated everyday, a power bag, an occasion bag, depending on the size, a special occasion. You want a bag that's poised, a bag that if you place on any surface, people will look at it. It'll be a talking point because of the bag, the beauty of it, the leather, the craftsmanship, the colors. Valextra is all about color. They use a lot of color, lively, fun, popping, whimsical, flirty colors. They also produce a lot of designs on their colors. They produce bags literally in all of the colors of the rainbow, in varying hues of the different colors of the rainbow. So you're incredibly spoiled for choice. And that is one of the distinct advantages of buying into Valextra, is the color option. Looking again at the bag, as I mentioned, wider, the carrying capacity. You also have the muted hardware, like I said, with the Mune, both of those brands. And then you have their signature lacquered edges, very thinly applied. 3 layers are applied, hand painted, thin layers. They absolutely seal the edges like they've done with the Moreau. They're not going to move, they're not going to crack or peel. I have never heard of anybody complain of the edges cracking. I've yet to hear anything, but even if there was an issue, I'm confident with regards to Valextra's aftercare, they'll be able to rectify that issue very quickly. But their signature lacquered edge coating is legendary. The brand is known for that. It has the sheen, very similar to Moreau, and it's bulletproof. It seals the edges wonderfully. In terms of sizes, as I mentioned, there's the mini, which has been discontinued, the small, the medium, the large. Price-wise, the small, you're looking at a price of 2,600, the medium 2,900, and then the large 3,200 pounds. I'll put the euro equivalent in the description box down below, and I'll put the pound equivalent for the Moreau, which I mentioned, in euros. So Wanja, depending on which one, your carrying capacity, what you need the bag for, I would say the medium or or the large, because you get your money's worth in terms of the quality, the craftsmanship, the performance, the longevity, and of course the compliments. They more than pay for the bag. You can see the difference in price between the two brands. Both are within premium core, but I would say Valextra is very confidently at the top end. It's leading the pack when it comes to premium core with a couple of other brands. I'd also very confidently say it is the best commercial Italian brand in the market. And I'd actually also say, I think it deserves, when you look at the quality, the craftsmanship, to be in a higher level of luxury. Super premium alongside Chanel, Moureanette, Delvaux, for example, it would very confidently hold its own within that level of luxury. It is absolutely superb. You're getting a phenomenal product, premium core prices. So Wanja, when you said to me between the Mune, the Iside, to me it was an absolute no-brainer. I didn't even need to think about it. Mune is an everyday functional, elevated, everyday running around bag. But what I think you want is color. Both of us are from Southern Africa. Southern Africa, Africa as a whole, it's all about color. You'll be spoiled for choice. You're also getting phenomenal craftsmanship. It's exemplary when it comes to how their bags are made. The exquisite leathers they use, the millipunti calf skin, it's soft, it's sumptuous. It has the millions of little dots on it. So it's typically going to be incredibly robust. It's not going to scuff easily or mark unless you take a sharp object to it. Whereas with Mune, they use a very soft, a sumptuous, buttery soft calf skin that's smooth. It's going to mark, it's going to scuff, but when you're buying smooth calf skin, you're buying it for that element that you like the way the leather scuffs and develops its character as the bag ages. So you're buying into those variables. But coming back to the Iside, you've got the exceptional leathers, you've got the black lacquered edges, you've got the hardware that's muted. It doesn't take away from the overall look and feel of the bag. And you have the fact that it's an elevated everyday, a power bag for special occasions. You can also dress it down if you choose. You have that versatility option. If you get one of the funkier, cool straps, which they sell in addition, then you give it a very different look and feel as well. And then of course you're buying into the fact that you've got colors. You also have the limited edition bags. They typically produce 10 per design. So once you have it, nobody else, 10 other people. You're buying into that, into the exclusivity element through Valextra, and also within premium core, which is what you're overall, buying into when it comes to a higher level of luxury. So to me, it's an absolute no-brainer. With the Iside, you have the color, the huge color selection, you have the craftsmanship, you have the phenomenal quality of the leathers. What more? What more would you want? You have it all rolled in one wonderful handbag, the Iside. But any other questions, Wanja, as always, let me know in the comments down below. I've tried to include a lot of footage that I've accumulated over the last few months. I've taken off Iside bags, whether it's in Milan, in Paris, or in London. Let me know which of the designs you like. To all my viewers, which colors, which designs did you like? Let me know down below. But as always, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon.